drop your frames, you'll be good.
All right. What is going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switchforce. Gabe is here, and holy cow, a whirlwind of a last hour and a half. And Pokemon Switch is real, it's been revealed, and it's releasing this year. So we have a whole lot to break down with you. We wanted to do our discussion video live so that you could hear it right away, get our impressions right away, and so we could get some of your impressions right away. We'll be taking questions and comments throughout the video. There's a lot to digest here, Gabe. We have Quest, Let's Go, 2019, all the details, Pokeball Plus. I guess let's just start kind of with maybe an overall feel and vibe, and then we'll go into the individual pieces.
I think I've come to the realization that I'm not as like hardcore as you guys about some of these things. I am very pleased with everything they've shown. I was just playing Quest just a little while ago, and clearly that's not a game for me. A lot of other people on Twitter sharing that same sentiment, but I'm okay with that because I feel like that game is for very young audiences. It's going to be on phones. A ton of people are going to have access to it. So that game isn't for me. But Let's Go, that does seem like that's for me. That seems like an upgraded version of this Kanto region. It's not a remake as you had feared. It's inspired by it, but there's a lot of cool things in it. Although there are a couple of things that are disappointing, such as people have been talking about it already in the Discord. But the fact that you can't have like battles with wild Pokemon, that's a little bit disappointing. The Pokemon Go integration for the most part seems to be done pretty well. I am overall just generally pleased is what I'm going to go with.
Yeah, I have specific responses for almost everything you said, but just to start broad, vibe-wise, I'm very pumped. I think you got to be excited by the amount that was revealed here. You got to be excited by the long-term plan that was revealed here. You got to be excited about the fact that you're getting stuff today, this fall, and next year. I think that's pretty darn impressive. And, Nintendo, they're masters at their craft. They do a great job at these reveals, and they make it exciting. That's a great trailer. I think it's a phenomenal way to bring in nostalgia and make you want to go grab those games right away. I mean, we could have been staring at a bobblehead for 8 hours, and instead they were like, nope, we're just going to give you these trailers right off the bat, which is very cool. Thanks to, let's see, thanks to
Mary.
For the donation. They're saying the
One
audio is
second.
way
Yeah.
off.
How do we fix that?
Let me see. There's no. I'm not sure if I have to put you on delay or what, but
I'm listening. Hold on. Wait. Guys, what's off about the audio?
I think it's fine. It's just one person. I'm good. So here we go. Let's dive into the big thing first, which is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. We'll incorporate our thoughts on Quest in 2019 along the way. I think there's a reason why some of the details have come out after via press release and not via the trailer, because initially the trailer looks absolutely fantastic. The graphics are a very 3DS-esque style, but I feel like they have enough polish and enough visual charm that they do pop on the screen. The inclusion and expansion of like Pokemon just sort of roaming around is very cool. That being incorporated from Go and from the rumors that we heard. I mean, basically all the rumors that we heard were kind of spot on, right? And I think that's an interesting note that these leakers slash rumor people are getting. At least in this case, they were really really right on. But I think without some of the details, it looks super cool. I really like that it is inspired by Yellow and not a straight up remake from Yellow. I love that there's co-op. I think that's really freaking cool. The fact that they do have this two-player aspect that has never been a part of a main Pokemon game. That's super awesome. I even like, the Pokemon Go integration. People have been so into that. The fact that you can transfer Pokemon over, it's a really nice get, especially for people that have invested time. I think that's just almost like a huge thank you, right, to those who did really, really get into the Niantic phone game. And I love just the overall vibe, I guess, that it has. It looks fun. It looks inviting. It's the characters we know. It's the Pokemon we know. And then you start to read some of the other stuff. And maybe that's when it begins to be a bit of a bummer. We're seeing a lot of negativity, I'd say. I think the big one is the not battling wild Pokemon. That to me is a crazy balls omission, and I know it's from Go, but if you're still going to have traditional battles with trainers, it's odd that you're not having them with wild. And I guess it's just because they want the catching mechanic to really translate 1-to-1 from Go to Let's Go. But I wonder if there would have been a much better middle ground.
Okay, so Zach, apparently I'm very loud and you're not as loud, so I don't know if you want to adjust our volume a little bit as I speak. So the thing I'm going to say about that is, and we'll talk about this a little bit later in the stream, but this isn't Gen 8. Gen 8, by all accounts, is coming next year, and I feel like that's going to be the super traditional, like, hey, the Pokemon you know and love from 3DS on Switch, that's coming next year. I do think that this is more of a stopgap just because they needed something for this year, and by all accounts, like, the catching the Pokemon is taken straight from Pokemon Go. When you turn AR off on Pokemon Go, this is exactly what it looks like. So this had to have been easier for them to do, right? So I'm figuring that this is more of a stopgap, and that's why I think I'm more okay with it. I recognize that.
I mean, stopgap or not, this they are charging. They're by all accounts going to charge $60 for these games. It is their first Pokemon on Switch, and I think it's okay to be disappointed. Yeah, yes, Gen 8 coming 2019 next fall. That's really cool. That's really great. But that's like saying, hey, they released a mediocre Zelda and said, don't worry, Breath of the Wild's coming later. Like, sure, yes, I get it, but I think it still is a bit frustrating of what is the thinking here. And it's very clear that the expansion of the Switch user base and the expansion of the Pokemon user base via mainstream simplification of the mechanics is what they were going for here. And I wonder, like, we don't have the data, we don't have the numbers, we don't know what they're saying behind closed doors, but was Pokemon in need of a simplification? I guess they were impressed by what Go did, but I don't know that Pokemon ever struggled because it was too complex.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a valid point. Like, we don't know the price is 60, right? Like, there's a chance it's
I
40.
think
Like,
Tropical
damn it.
Freeze is 60.
Sure. At this point, then I'd be interested what the differences are going to be in the games. Is it like
Yeah.
traditional, like, hey, certain Pokemon are only in Eevee, certain Pokemon are only in Pikachu? So, no, that is something that I'm curious about. But honestly, overall, and I think I could say the same for you. You can speak for yourself here in a second. But I think we're like pleasantly surprised with just like way it looks like visually,
Yeah.
things like that. Like yes, it's a bummer you're not fighting wild Pokemon. Um, I would have rather the implementation of Pokemon Go was less than it is because they took that directly from Go, clearly. But I do think it's cool that you can like take your Pokemon for like a stroll and stuff. I wonder if that counts towards hatching eggs in Pokemon Go. Like how deep is are these games like tied together? So that is something I do wonder. But how are you like leveling up your Pokemon? Like only fighting trainers, only by taking them out? Like that's something that I'm wondering now, right? Because if you're not fighting wild Pokemon, you're not gaining experience in that manner. Like how are you like leveling up and fighting Bugcatcher or whatever other trainers challenge you along the way? That's something that I feel needs to be answered.
Yeah, we got some new details just now. I'll go through these and we can respond. Okay, so no wild Pokemon battles. That's confirmed. Um, so no, that's just so strange to me. Okay, um, there will be one never before seen Pokemon. There will be some Alolan forms. You can still trade and battle through multiple Switch units, but there is no online play.
Hmm.
So that's kind of interesting. I'm guessing it's local only via trading and yeah, battles. We're seeing a lot of people saying they never said there aren't wild battles, but it's absolutely been confirmed now. This was just updated. So this is something that I find very interesting, and to me, this is where I'm like, what's the real deal here? They say that the Let's Go games are designed primarily as home console games, and the 2019 games will have more an emphasis on handheld play. you'd think that this would be more of the handheld, given that this is like tied to Go, which is all about going, right? So it's odd that they view this as such a home console experience. Um, they said that there are more details to be revealed on how Go and Let's Go will interact. Those who play both will be rewarded. Let's Go is viewed as the next step for players who were brought in for the first time by Pokemon Go. I mean, that's pretty obvious, I guess. The 2019 games are viewed as a way to move the handheld experience forward, and those games have been in the works since before Switch released. Wow. That's interesting. So by the time 2019 Gen 8 releases, those games will have been in the works for at least 3 years.
Yeah, and this is all speculation here, but I'm assuming like the online and literally everything you expected and wanted, I think that's next year. And you know, they're gonna probably feel disappointed by that. But yes, and for anyone wondering, because I've seen a few people ask here, it is confirmed you are not fighting wild Pokemon. Like we said that just a little while ago, but just to drive that home, this is 100% confirmed. No battles with wild Pokemon. You're only catching them Pokemon Gold style. I said Gold by accident. The only way you're having battles is with other trainers.
Yeah, or the multiple Switches can have battles, so you can battle other
Yes.
players to have the game. And you can have multiple save slots, given that it is, Switch and there's multiple accounts, so that's nice. So you don't, if you have a brother or you have a friend or a girlfriend or whatever, you don't need to buy 2 copies. They do say that there are plans for the Pokeball Plus beyond these games. So, whether that's future apps, whether that's integration in 2019, I'm not sure, but that's good because that thing is expected to cost $50.
Okay, let's stop and talk about that for a second, right? The expectation that it's gonna be 50, it could go either way, right? It could go up to 50 or down to 40 for the US because it's close to 5,000 yen. We converted that and it's $46, so it could go either up or down.
They say the expectation, yeah, is that it's 50 in the US.
Okay, all right, so beyond that, you'd think that probably they use it for the next one. 3 hours of battery. You charge it with a USB C, same as a Switch, all that. So that's pretty good. I don't know the 3 hours of battery is something really good. But Hades of Pyro comes in with a $5 donation through Super Chat and says, in his opinion, as long as it doesn't force you to use Pokemon Go, it'll probably be a fine game. I don't think it's going to force you. I think it's incentivizing you very harshly. But yeah.
So, and I do want to be clear, just because I feel like maybe I don't know if it's misunderstanding or just frustration, but like, this is still a Pokemon game. Yes, there is the removal of certain features and the inclusion of others, but like, you're still going to be collecting, battling gym leaders, going to, Pokemon centers, leveling them up, getting new attacks, making those decisions. This isn't like, oh, just a complete Pokemon Go on Switch. So, I mean, it is a companion, yes, to Pokemon Go. It is supposed to be the console, not version, but consolification of those ideas. But at the same time, it is still a Pokemon game. So you are getting, like, that experience. It's just not probably the fully fledged, newly evolved, expanded, and doubled down on hardcore Pokemon that you wanted. That's coming 2019. And I think an interesting discussion that we can get to eventually at some point is like, if you knew this, would you rather just have nothing and wait, or would you rather have this? Because to me, that's a big deal. If they're going to have back-to-back holiday seasons with Pokemon, I mean, if you're looking at the overall success of the Switch, the ability to build the user base and eventually, draw in more and more third parties, maybe even garner exclusives, this is massive. You're going to load up Smash and Pokemon this year. You're going to load up again Pokemon next year. To me, that's a really big deal and something that a Nintendo console has never had.
Yeah, we have a lot of people in chat saying, "Hey, how are you going to train? How are you grinding?" By all accounts, it doesn't seem to be in the game, right?
I mean, I fully expect there to be levels and
Yeah, I don't know. We see levels. That's in the trailer. Like we see that.
so I think like, oh, you're gonna get flamethrower, you're gonna get new attacks, you're gonna get like
Yes, there are evolution. Like I mean, all that's still in the game.
right.
It's just like I don't know how you're grinding. Are you grinding only by like taking them out like with your Pokeball or like putting in Pokemon like transferring to Pokemon Go? Is that the only way? Like I have no idea.
Yeah, we don't know that much. This event is actually supposed to be multi-day event. Eurogamer stated that they're going to be in Japan for 2 more days, so I'm hoping they'll go hands-on and we'll have that information to build off of. But there are wild Pokemon, yes. but they're only for catching. They're not for battling. So maybe that is why this is a little bit like up in the air right now. But they have confirmed there's no wild Pokemon battles. You see the Pokemon on the field and you can go catch them. You can even do like a partner catch, a co-op partner catch, and I do think that's kind of cool. The fact that you can utilize brother mode, girlfriend mode, whatever, and it's basically it looks to be the same experience. Like you both will have your Pokemon, you both can run around. It doesn't seem to go split screen in any way of like, oh, this person's over here, like Lego style. You kind of have to work, simultaneously on the same catch or on the same battle. But you will be able to play with someone else, which I think is going to be a fun new way to experience this. It's I feel weird, but I don't feel that upset about this. I think it's an interesting take. And look, Nintendo has had kind of a great run here, right? They haven't really had nothing has not been a hit really since the Switch came out. So maybe this is a sort of, yes, it's going to be more casual, but a fun way to experience Pokemon on the Switch. And you can play it, co-op. Maybe there are ways that, you still are going to be building your team. And so if you can still battle with friends locally, that will fulfill sort of that, aspect. And then we get the brand new one next year. And given that they've already worked on developing this and they'll have 3 years for Gen 8, that game could be earth-shattering. But
Earth shattering is just funny to me. I want to piggyback off of something Ian said, Dead Angels, whatever we want to call him today. That like, hey, at least they're trying something different, right? Because, but just from what we know, next year it's going to be more of a traditional Pokemon. This is different, and
I do want to clarify because there are people saying like, oh, it should be $5, it should be $10. This is not Pokemon Go on Switch. Like there still will be gym battles, there still will be story, there still will be.
Wait, well, somebody said like no gym battles. Like I don't know if it's confirmed or not. I just saw it on chat. Like I don't. I mean, I'm assuming there's gym battles. I don't know.
I fully think there are.
Yeah. Another good point that was brought up by someone in chat. I'm sorry I didn't see your name when I'm going to steal your point. Smash Pokemon this year, Metroid Pokemon next year. That would be amazing. I mean, I would love for Metroid to come out before fall of 2019. But if that's what they're doing, then I think I'm with it.
Yeah. Again, I think it's pretty darn good. I think it is more of a Pokemon game than people are worrying. Look, you still see towns, you still see houses, you still see Pokemon centers, you still see items, you still see, trainer battles. Gyms are going to be in there, guys.
Well, some people are saying that it's confirmed that it's not. Again, I don't know where you guys are getting that. We haven't seen that. I'm gonna look at Cerebi while we do this, but yeah, I think there has to be gyms. Like, what else are you doing? Right? Because in the trailer, you see being in the town, you see Pokemon centers. Yeah, I think there is gyms.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I feel like it is much more of a, again, traditional Pokemon with some casual elements incorporated than maybe people are worrying about. I'm not worried about that. I mean, like Nobi Rogers saying worst game ever 0 out of 10. I feel like that's a bit of an overreaction. I get that we wanted like the brave new frontier of Pokemon, and that is why they clearly were, they blew next year's reveal by saying, hey, it's coming, right? And I think they knew that, right? I think they knew that they needed to establish that and say that to try and placate the people that were looking for that immediately. But I don't feel like this is going to be completely useless for you if you are long-term hardcore Poke fan. I don't think that this is going to be like a worthless experience. I don't think, I know that a lot of console or I guess handheld Pokemon players skipped on Go because it felt like a phone game and an app they didn't want to be a part of. I think this has plenty there for you that you don't have to worry that this is like, oh, just go on the Switch.
Yeah. A couple other things that we want to touch on here while we're still on the topic of Let's Go. Okay, so the Pokemon at the end, Zach, they say like they've confirmed that that's going to be a brand new Pokemon. So we think it means that it's not Zeraora, right? That's where we're going to go with that. It's not zero or it's gonna be a brand new Pokemon. How are you feeling about that? Like that there's like the 151 plus some Alola from Cerebi. They've said that they've confirmed that it is 151 plus a couple of Alola versions and one new Pokemon. Is that okay with you?
I mean, obviously, people were hoping that post game would include, many more, but I think that's cool. I mean, one new is not really that exciting. I don't know, but if it is a sort of link to Gen 8 or something really cool, I'm all for it. I think the Pokeball Plus is completely optional as well, so people are saying, like, God, this is going to be a $100 purchase. You don't really need that. It's a glorified Pokemon Go Plus, and it can, be used as a controller in the game. There's no reason that you need that. That is going to be for super fans. That is going to be for people who do tie into Pokemon Go. That is going to be for people that make this a lifestyle and not just a game experience. So I do, yeah. Matt Bauer says this game's fine, the perfect placeholder, and we got a nice donation from. Well, let me scroll up, but it is
Bradley Lemons.
yeah, he says the crazy amount of negativity in the comments lets me know people clearly don't understand what's happening. The one you're waiting for is the 2019 tile. Calm down. And I would piggyback off that, Brandon, and say I think this one is more than what people are thinking it is. I think as soon as they see Go, and as soon as they say Niantic, and as soon as they see that controller, they assume that this is like baby's first Pokemon. And maybe it is the most introductory Pokemon game that has ever been released, but again, you're still battling, you're still collecting, there's still levels, there's by all accounts still gyms, and there's still going to be storyline, there's still towns, there's still routes, there's still many, many elements. And if this is inspired by and not a remake, that will be new, and it still be fun. There will be different battles, there will be different encounters, there will be different elements.
Team Rocket's in the game.
Yeah, so I think that it's not as doom and gloom as it looks. Again, I understand the frustration of like missing features like the wild Pokemon battles, but I don't feel like this is as much of a spin-off or a sure stopgap, but at the same time, like it does look for the most part like a Pokemon game as we know it.
Yeah, and we understand the frustration. I don't think you guys are alone in that. We wish it was Gen 8 too. We wish it was something like brand new too. We wish that you could fight these wild Pokemon. Like, yeah, we want that, and yes, we're disappointed by that. But I also think it's very unfair to just like throw the game out and be like, oh no, it's trash. Like, hold on, we haven't played it. Like, let's play the game, see what else is there, and maybe we will be pleasantly surprised. I mean, that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm always like more optimistic, I think, than most people, and I'm perfectly okay with Gen 8 being next year. Like, it was probably too soon, anyways. A lot of like very big like Pokemon channels that like are experts in it. It's like always said this all along. They're like, hey, it's too soon for Gen 8, so that makes sense, and that's still coming next year. And you have this to play with in the meantime. Yeah.
Another donation, thank you very much, coming in from Kuro Tengetsu 91. Will Eevee have a new evolution or include the others? They did say that it will not include Eevee evolutions beyond Kanto, so you're not getting, Espeon, Umbreon, Leafeon. I would not be surprised, though, if, given the focus on Eevee, if that new special Pokemon was an Eevee evolution. I think that's not out of the realm of possibility. They did mention that Eevee is included because Eevee was your rival's Pokemon in Pokemon Yellow. And that was
Yes.
Eevee's been building in popularity also, but that was sort of the impetus for this focus on Eevee.
Yeah. Now I wonder what they're gonna do with the story. That's something that I'm very like curious about. We know nothing about it right now. So, as Zach said earlier, they are like this is a few day like long event. So hopefully we get more. We'll see.
Yeah,
We're gonna talk about Pokemon Quest in a little bit, by the way, guys.
yeah. So they gave no details on 2019, but I do think it is interesting and important that they, made that mention. I think it shows that there is an awareness that some people will be bummed, because again, you could save this and have it be an E3 2019 announcement, or go through this whole rumor crap again next year, right? But that to me is like a really good move on their part to announce that and to make that clear. As far as we know, that wasn't something that was part of any of the rumors. I'd say for 90% of it, the rumors were spot on, but I never saw anything indicating that we would be getting back to back games, in back to back years. So that is that is very cool, and I think that's sort of the. I hate to say saving grace because I genuinely feel like this is going to be better than people expect. But yeah.
Uh, you want some new information, Zach? Because this is happening like real time. New information. The partner Pikachu and Eevee you receive in Pokemon Let's Go have been confirmed to not be able to evolve. Wild ones can though. So if you catch a secondary Pikachu, you can evolve that one, but
Hmm.
you cannot evolve any of the starter Pokemon like Eevee and Pikachu that you get are not evolving.
Interesting. Here's another thing. Candy from Pokemon Go will not do anything in Let's Go. Um, Interesting. Gyro is required. So when you're playing handheld Pokemon, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, you will be moving the console around and pressing a button to throw. So you have to move to like aim.
Yeah. But we're assuming you can play with a Pro Controller and just use gyro with that though. So
No plot differences, but there will be Pokemon differences between the two games.
Let's Go. Eevee and Pikachu are not the core RPG game that was previously announced at E3 2017. So this is not it. That's next year. So I feel like that's a cool little tidbit.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, I really like the art style. I've seen some people say that they don't like it, but if you look at direct comparisons, and I can't pull them up for the for the stream right now, but if you look at direct comparisons between like Sun's trainer and Let's Go's trainer, I really like the style. I think it's a nice change.
Yeah.
We are getting now comments in the chat and via Twitter that the online thing was misinformed. That they did not confirm online.
Okay. So there is online.
There could be.
Yeah. Well, no. Some Ian says that they know that there is online. Ian, where'd you see that, dude? Ian, can you send me a message on Discord? Tell me where you found that. No, that's Raging Red. Excuse me, Raging Red. Send me a Discord message with that information because I don't see it. Where are we getting our info? Taze comes in with a $2 donation through Super Chat. Various places, if we're honest. A lot of it is I'm checking PokeJungle. I'm checking the official Pokemon account. I am checking Cerebi. There's a few places. We do have a bunch of stuff open, and we're trying to get as much information as possible. They're all clued in to what's going on over there. So
Hmm. Yeah, I have seen the sentiment that aren't Pokemon games already geared towards kids? Why do we need to gear them even more towards kids? I do think that's a bit odd. Gabe, we've discussed this off air that Zelda was doubling down on the hardcore game knowledge of players, and Mario was doubling down on that. So it's odd to see Pokemon, I guess, take sort of the opposite route, but maybe that's just part of the broadening plan that they have.
they said that that's this year they want to bring in more people. That
Yeah.
that was the goal for this year. Next year we have the core experiences coming. We have Metroid coming. We have core Pokemon coming. So yeah, expected.
Um, and I do, it's talk for a different time, but I do wonder if getting this all out the way does open the door for a surprise at E3.
Okay.
Because,
Nin-
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Nintendo Everything. Thank you, Ian. Says update. Seems comments regarding no online play were incorrectly reported. Follow up post coming. So
Yeah.
yes, so the report that there's no online was just incorrect. Like remember, this is all being translated for Japanese. People were being weird. So okay, so we could have online.
Yeah.
Probably does honestly.
I mean, if they are saying that there's battles and trades, it would be odd to only have that be local, but yeah. Anyhow, what I was saying was, now that Smash has been revealed, now that Pokemon has been revealed, you'd think Nintendo was going to throw in one curveball into E3, right? Whether that's Pikmin or Animal Crossing or heck, even a Metroid Prime deep dive. Like, it would be interesting to see um, a show where everything was known. I don't know. That to me is sort of hard to believe. Let's get through some of these donations. Oski Woski says, "Hi Gabe, remember me? I'm Oscar from Splatoon 2. I wanted to ask which one are you guys getting? I'm definitely getting the Eevee one."
I want Eevee, but I don't see a point in me getting Eevee if he's getting Eevee. But Eevee is what I want.
No, no, Oski is getting Eevee. Oscar here.
Okay. I want Eevee.
I'm glad to have Pikachu.
Okay.
And Andrew Borowski says, having grown up on Red and Blue, I personally like the idea of a casual remake. This will help get the old fans back into the franchise, in my opinion.
That's me, Andrew. That's what's happening with me. I loved Pokemon growing up, but they lost me somewhere along the line. I haven't played like a Pokemon game in some time. I didn't play X and Y. I didn't play Black and White. So these newer games, I'm just not as familiar with, and I want to get into them. But I think this is like so perfect for people like me, honestly. So I'm with you, Andrew.
I'd love to see a Venn diagram breakdown of like, okay, Pokemon Go players, what's their reaction? Only Pokemon core players, what's their reaction? Crossover players, what's their reaction? And then once the game comes out, if what's the enjoyment level? Like, if you play Pokemon Go, does it double how much you like this? If you don't play Pokemon Go, does it really reduce how much fun this is? If you like, or does it not matter? I'm very curious to know, because again, I don't see myself playing Pokemon Go at all. So
Yeah.
let's
Justin
see.
Hill,
Yeah,
though.
go ahead.
I was gonna go with that. He says, "I'm seeing levels, movesets, turn-based battle, and traditional map. Why are people freaking out? The staple stuff is there. Yes, there are levels. We just don't know how you're leveling up. There are movesets. Yeah, of course. Turn-based battles. That's only with presumably gyms, and we see in the trailer it's a bug catcher that the battles happening with. So people are freaking out over the fact that you can't fight wild Pokemon, and they don't know how they're gonna grind. I think that's what people are kind of freaking out about, Justin. And I agree with you. The big stuff is there. So yeah,
Again, I think it is more traditional than maybe we've been riled up to believe. I will say, and this is just like a random point, but I will say that the fact that Pikachu and Eevee are see-through in the trailer when they jump on the TV just weirds me out.
yeah. I don't know what that's about at all.
Why are they ghosty?
Someone's asking about breeding. Do we think there's breeding? It should go Bill is the one that question. Breeding, huh? Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, until we hear otherwise, my assumption would be that everything in Pokemon is in here, minus the changes that they're making. I don't think this is like, oh, you go and press A to win and throw the Pokeball. Like, maybe I'm missing something, but to me it seems like, hey, this is inspired by Pokemon Yellow, and it has Pokemon Go, catching, and it has co-op play, but the other stuff is going to be there. There's no indication that this is super silly. I do think the box arts are super silly. I'm not a fan of those at all.
Yeah, Zach really doesn't like the box art, but I think that they fit with the theme, which is like, hey, more kid friendly, or just more amateur. I don't want to say amateurish.
I
I
think
don't
they
know.
look like picture books.
I don't mind it.
I don't know. Again, I'm of the mindset that Pokemon has been popular with young kids from the beginning. I don't think you need to cutesy-ify it up any more than it already is. I was 7, 8, 9, 10 years old buying Pokemon cards, loving it, watching the show, playing the games, and,
Yes, but you have to realize that the last time that they really casualified Pokemon, they got Pokemon Go, which makes like made them a ton of money. So they're gonna give it a shot on console. Yeah, I clearly see why they're doing it.
yeah. Let's see. Mark is saying breeding wasn't in yellow, so that's why we ask. Justin comes back again. Thank you, Justin. Okay, Pokemon Coliseum was a fantastic game, and that had no wild Pokemon whatsoever, nor gyms, so there's no reason to think that it won't be great. And this has a number of those things, and it obviously is far deeper than Pokemon Coliseum. So, Alex brings up an idea that grinding could be catching the same Pokemon with different moves and levels, similar to Go.
Yeah, good point.
So that could be there. I mean, I like the inclusion that you don't just run through the grass and get like a flicker and a flash, that the Pokemon are there. I think that's cool. I'm sure, here, look at it this way. If for nothing else, there will be elements of this that influence Gen 8. There will be. So if for no other reason, I'm excited to play these to see where they're kind of going, what their thought process is, and what elements of this are really cool. Because maybe there are some things and some parts of this that they have, whether it's simplified or updated, that are actually enjoyable and that are actually cool. I mean, there's nothing to say that everything's going to be terrible in this, and I think that's the vibe that I want to break for people. Is I think of the two of us, and of most people, I probably get the most upset about game reveals and announcements. I have, like, for whatever reason, a lot at stake with these games and these reveals, and I am
Mentally.
mentally, yes, I am worried, but I do feel pretty good because I think, again, that you still have enough of the core elements that this will be fun and enjoyable to play on Switch. And I don't think in a way that's like, oh, stopgap, yeah, play it for 20 minutes. Like, I still think the hardcore people are going to get through this entire game. I'm assuming that there will be, gyms and an Elite Four and things of that sort. You know, I don't. I'm typically the one to worry, right? I'm worried about Spider-Man. I was worried about Detroit. I'm worried about Smash Brothers. But I feel like, in spite of the lackings, that this still will be a quality experience. I mean, I'm interested of how they do this at E3. Did they get this out the way so it doesn't need to be at E3? Did they get this out the way so that they can dive deeper at E3? Will it be playable at E3? Will they have the Pokeball Plus at E3?
Yeah, they're gonna have these things tied to a human, like they did with Yokai Watch, possibly. Um, yeah, I am curious about that as well. Zach, do you think that Gen 8 is gonna look like this, or do you think that's gonna like look different,
I think it'll
or do
look
you
different.
you think so?
Yeah, I think, again, I don't want to call it a stopgap because I feel like that discredits the fact that this game could be really fun. But my guess would be that this was a very cooperative venture to get a game out that helps expand the base and continue and carry on the extreme success that Pokemon Go had, while still appeasing and appealing to fans of the franchise. Therefore, I would guess that the greatest amount of effort, focus, and innovation is being placed on that 2019 title. And you also have to remember that, look at what Nintendo's projections are, right? They're launching this with what, 16, 17 million, or I guess by that point, maybe 20 million Switches, something like that.
Yeah.
Their projections are by the end of next fiscal, that this is going to be like 40 million. So they're then setting up this Pokemon game to be absolutely insane, right? Fall 2019 will be a Switch is entrenched as a killer console, and as long as they're able to maintain regular releases and third-party support, that is going to be absolutely insane. And that might play a part in it as well. I'm not sure about that. They do like to be different. They lead with Zelda, whereas often Microsoft and Sony don't lead with their biggest properties. But there's nothing to say that doesn't play a role as well. That, hey, let's let this thing germinate a little here. Let's let it like cook in the oven a bit, and then we really blow them away in 2019.
All right, let's read off a couple more donations here.
Yes,
First up,
please.
Oski Woski, great name, says in next year's Pokemon coming to Switch or the three is he's asking if next Gen 8 basically is it coming to 3DS or Switch because 3DS still has life in 2019. He's confused. So, what do you think? I think Gen 8's definitely a Switch game.
Yeah, I think it's a Switch exclusive. They did not clarify that, so let's be, I guess, a little cautious.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't imagine fall 2019 you're going to double release. I think that's something that's being done right now, specifically with ports and whatnot, like Captain Toad, and I, that would be so beyond weird to me. Like, that doesn't make really a whole lot of sense. So I think next year's are fully Switch releases.
Yeah. Pad Para, I'm gonna call you, says no new region, new Pokemon. It's sprite designed too cartoony. This is a disappointing first entry on the Switch. If it came after Gen 8, I'd be excited. I think the reason it's coming before is because this is what they were able to do right away. Like, I think they're working to make the next one quite different. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would expect Gen 8 to be more. I mean, look at their comments. They directly said that they want Gen 8 to really forward the handheld series. And that to me means that they're going to make major steps so that when you play Pokemon 2019, it's feels different. Not in the way that Pokemon Let's Go looks and feels different, but it feels different from Sun and Moon in a way that doubles down on those elements and brings you the depth and the breadth and the new uniqueness that you want. And I get that everyone was hoping for it here. Look at it this way: two games instead of one. You get 2 years of Pokemon because, again, as Gabe has referenced, I think the option was nothing or Let's Go. I don't think it was. Oh, they could have put out Gen 8 first. In any real way. Last Hope says, I remember saying that Ultra Moon and Sun will be the last Pokemon games for 3DS. Yes, I do believe that.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And I agree, Ty. I think the art style looks great. I've seen some people say that they think the trainers look creepy or weird. I think it looks really good. I think it's a nice mixture of 3D-ification of the Pokemon plus the what we know and love. People have asked, like, is it a one-button game? How much can you do with that Pokeball? That I'm still not sure of. You definitely need a control stick to move around. I don't think you can just angle the Pokeball and, ghost guide your trainer through. Chris says, I hope we don't need Candy to evolve, and they said yes, that it won't. It's not going to do anything in the games.
Hades, the Pyro, another $5 donation. Thank you, buddy. Says, Sun and Moon ran bad on 3DS, so I wouldn't hold my breath on Gen 8 coming to 3DS for those hoping that. Yeah, I definitely think it's a Switch thing.
And look, by all accounts, if we look at this reveal from a bird's eye perspective, from a Pidgeotto perspective, they give you Pokemon Quest tonight. It may not be great, it may not be for everyone, but hey, like, that's cool, right? A surprise drop of something. You got to give them kudos for that. They're bringing this game out this year, which is something that for a while we did not know if it would happen. And I wonder if maybe the confusion of 2018, 2019 was in fact like mixed messaging on that there's actually 2 back-to-back games. So they're giving you something this year, today, this year, next year. I think that's really cool. And they're all kind of covering different bases while all still being Pokemon on Switch.
Zach, can I justify my wrongness a little bit?
Yes.
I want to be petty for a second.
People are saying real quick that there is a clickable joystick on the Pokeball Plus, so it can be played with that. That's cool.
Okay. All right. So when I said that Pokemon wasn't coming this year, I totally meant the game that isn't coming this year. I meant.
No, not gonna.
I meant the game that they were talking about.
Not accepting
the one I said was the one I said wasn't coming, and that is in fact not coming.
You not accepting that. You are the poorest sport when it comes to predictions.
If I knew that there was 2 games, I didn't think they were gonna put 2 games out in 1 year. But of course we didn't know that. I'm just being petty. No, it's okay.
God, I think a sheer clear way to know if a game is coming is if Gabe says it's not coming, because Pokemon came, Metroid Prime was announced last year.
Tell that to Call of Duty. Tell that to Spyro.
I fully believe Spyro's revealed.
The conversationalist says Pokemon Go probably adds a place to see your Pokemon on the screen, but you can't use them. Also, I hope you can use a Pro controller, but I want the Pokeball controller. I hope you can use a Pro controller. That's how I play most of my games on Switch.
Pada Paradsha, sorry for the butchering, says, I wonder if this was pushed forward because Gen 8 was delayed. I don't think so. I don't think there was a delay there. I think this is a very cooperative effort, and I think that, I think this is far more positive. Maybe tomorrow when people wake up, they'll feel a little bit better about it, but you're getting back-to-back Pokemon games. You're still getting Smash this year, and I fully feel that there will be a surprise at E3 that also releases this year. So,
all right, I see some people not buying my pettiness, and some people are actually saying, "Hey, Gabe, you have a point." So, thank you guys. It doesn't matter. I'm just really just joking around with Zach. But yeah, honestly, like, this has been like such a cool day, right, Zach? Because to give people a little bit of insight, you and I had been freaking out a little bit, right? Well, can't go there with that, but yeah, we're very excited that there's 3 games coming, and we clearly weren't expecting 3 games to be announced. And yeah, the one that's available on Switch right now that we will talk about a little bit, just because I played a few minutes of it. Zach, they didn't only confirm Pokemon for this year, they also confirmed Pokemon for next year. That's so crazy. No one expected that.
Nope. Tell us about Pokemon Quest.
All right. Pokemon Quest is not a game for any of you guys. I think it is incredibly simplistic. You get dropped into this area, you get a Pokemon. The battle system, from what I've played, which is again like 10, 15 minutes, very, very basic. It's completely touch based. You can't use the Joy-Con. I don't even know if you can use a Pro controller. You might have to just like play with it in handheld mode. The music is cool, Zach. You heard the music while I was playing. It's very vibrant. I don't mind the like cutesy art style, if I'm honest, but I'm not gonna like that game isn't for me. Like
Yeah.
that's totally like a mobile game that yeah, like I'm honestly not gonna be into it. I'm gonna play it some more just for the channel so we can have discussions about it and things like that. But Pokemon Quest is definitely not for me. And again, I'd wager it's not for any of you guys. Hopefully, you guys are playing it. Maybe people missed that. The game's out. You can go download Pokemon Quest right now on your Switch for free. There is microtransactions. I already found the first microtransaction sack. You got to cook the food faster. So, yeah.
A couple people asking, do we think we'll see more at E3? That I'm up in the air about. I guess it depends on how much more is shown at this event. If this really is a 3-day thing, as Eurogamer mentioned, I could see them skipping it at E3. I mean, I think they'll make a mention of it. But that presentation, Nintendo has always kept Game Freak and E3 kind of separate. Pokemon and E3 kind of separate. Raging Red, by the way, says he played Pokemon Quest the Pro Controller.
Yeah, cool.
Anyhow, I think it could go either way. To me, we'll know by the end of this week. If nothing else is revealed, I think we get more in E3. If they really deep dive and let people play, then maybe it's not a part of it.
Good point, Ian. It's not cook the food faster. Just don't cook it at all. It's instant. It's basically McDonald's.
I do
So,
feel
yeah,
that these games will be at E3 to play, though.
I think so as well.
I think we'll play these in 2 weeks.
There's $30 DLC for Pokemon Quest. Zach, is that what you had told me? You said there was like $15 worth of stuff? Or
Yeah, there's $32 total, I believe.
okay, we're gonna
37.
check that stuff out. We're gonna check that stuff out and bring you guys a video on that, so you don't have to do it. We got you.
Richie, no, they're only allowing you to transfer Kanto over. There's not going to be, you're not going to be able to take like Gen 3 Pokemon or things like
No,
that.
not at all. Here, I'm gonna do one last round around the Pokemon Twitter sphere. I'm gonna see what Cerebeast does, if they're saying anything new. So, one second.
Again, my kind of overall take is that this is really good news for the Switch. I think both from a overall for the Switch without the players, and also for the players, you're getting a Pokemon game. If you don't want it, you don't have to buy it, but it does look like more of a core experience than I think people are giving it credit for, and it fills out the calendar nicely, especially if we get a surprise at E3, a fall lineup that includes Smash Brothers, Fire Emblem, Pokemon, and maybe something else. That's pretty freaking great. And then, that next fall, you've already got a major title locked in. Because remember, outside of Mario, Zelda, and Pokemon, there were years in the Wii and the Wii U life cycle where not a whole lot of great stuff came out. Overall, those platforms had really cool exclusives. But this does sort of ensure that we are going to have another great fall this year and another great fall next year. You've already got Metroid loaded up. If the Star Fox racing rumor is true, that to me sounds very exciting. We know that Fire Emblem is coming, and I think all in all, this is a big win for the Switch and for the Switch players. And Sam, I just disagree with that point, saying we have to wait 18 months for a real game. I think this is more real than you think. I think this is more of a true Pokemon that has swapped out some elements to merge a bit with Pokemon Go and bring in that massive audience and try and expand the Pokemon fan base, the Switch fan base, and the overall Nintendo fan base on a console that is put out by Nintendo. Because, yeah, Pokemon Go makes them a ton of money, but the phones don't. And therefore, this is a chance for them to cash in on their product. And the Switch has been wonderful. So I really think that I don't think it's like, oh, this is the baby game and wait 18 months. Look at the trailer again. Those towns look awesome. The graphics look cool. You can play co-op. Like, there's still really good stuff. And I do think, next year's will be more core. Next year's will be more deep and have more depth and have more of the nitty gritty that people like to obsess over in Pokemon games. But I think that this, while not their like true sequel to Sun and Moon, I think that it is gonna have more to appeal to you than you think.
Let's talk about this for a little bit. Chris comes up with another $5 donation. Says, "I hope you don't have to play Pokemon Go to get the full experience. I stopped playing because I really don't know past the first 150 Pokemon." So let me ask you that. I already said that I was going to go back and play Pokemon Go now because of this. Are you?
I'm absolutely not.
Okay, I am
I have
honestly.
no interest in playing Pokemon Go, and I don't think that you're gonna need to play Pokemon Go for this.
No, you don't need to. You
To
absolutely
me,
don't.
the Pokemon Go player experiences this as a much more casual experience because you just transfer the Pokemon over. For me, without much Pokemon Go, history, I get to go in and catch the Pokemon and expand my Pokedex that way. You've played Pokemon Go for, you know, over a year now. You can just go dump all that into the game. So honestly, like, there might even be Pokemon Go players that choose to not transfer over in order to experience this more organically. But I don't think it's going to hinder it at all. Remember, they're taking elements from Go and incorporating them into Let's Go. They're not saying, like, oh, you got to play Go in order to really get the most out of Let's Go. And how much are you going to actually be able to do with that Pokeball Plus if it is just a enhanced Pokemon Go Plus? I don't know. There's not a whole lot. I don't foresee myself using it in that way. I am now noticing in the trailer that there clearly is a joystick on that Pokeball. So
Yeah, there is something I want to do before we leave. So, Zach, okay, let's not say it yet because then people are going to do it. Let's take a few more questions. Any last questions you guys have, go ahead and throw them our way. But before we go, and you guys know where Zach and I are going to line on this, I do want to see what the consensus is going to be as far as which game people are getting. But first, let's see. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and throw them our way. Zach, do you have like any final thoughts on Eevee and Pikachu?
I mean, I'm absolutely gonna get Pikachu.
Yeah, good. Thank you, because I really wanted Eevee.
I mean, to me, what matters more isn't the titular character. It matters more what Pokemon are locked between which version. I guess that is what I'd like to see. In terms of who do I want on my shoulder, I'd rather have Pikachu. Especially if the Eevee can't evolve. I would totally love it if the Eevee could evolve, and then all of a sudden you have, a Jolteon with you. But that's not the case, obviously. For the way the game is made, they need to be in their original form so that they can sit on your shoulder and do that.
Do you want to see where people land? Like, do you want to do like, hey, hashtag Eevee or hashtag Pikachu? Let us know. Let's do
Yeah,
that.
that's fine. You can go. You can go for that in the
And
in the
chat,
chat.
let
Let
us
us
know.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, hashtag Eevee, hashtag Pikachu. I want to see if we can get a gauge for where people are. Okay. So beyond that, what were you gonna say? Go ahead.
I just want to sort of say that this, ties a bow on the rumors, and
Hope. Thank. Yes.
for all the
Yes.
speculation videos that we made, most of them turned out to be pretty darn accurate. Pokemon being revealed in May, Pokemon being revealed this week, Pokemon being Let's Go, Pokemon being integrated with Go, Pokemon having casual elements, Pokemon being released this year. Like, almost every speculative Pokemon video we made came true. The Lapras screenshot. So now those videos are no longer speculative, wasteful rumor videos. They're all actual videos. They're all news now.
Yeah. Yeah. Ichigo, we have no idea how you're gonna train with no wild battles. We don't know. We don't know that. And we see a little. I'm seeing more Eevee than Pikachu. Are you?
Yeah, and I totally expect that. I mean, it's the first time Eevee gets a cover. It's the first time that it's the focus. People have had plenty of opportunities to play with Pikachu. Toys, games, TV, everything. And I think Eevee is, a really cool alternative. Again, I kind of want to just see the
Oh no.
exclusive list.
November Splatfest, Pikachu versus Eevee. Yes, that's a great idea, Raging. That's a great idea.
Yeah, they definitely could do something like that. I
Hades,
I do
thanks.
think also you got to give credit to the Leaky Pandies, the Emily Rogers, the Marcus Sellers, the
Wait, hold on.
Pixel Pars of the world.
Yes, thank you.
That they all called this because they were right, and as much crap as they get, and as they are sometimes wrong, they did nail this very much so. And the Reddit user that posted on April 1st somehow
You're a
nailed
genius.
it, nailed
You're
it
a
as well.
genius.
And yeah, I will also say that I knew this was coming out all year, and it's coming out this year. So there you go. Um, yeah, it seems like it's. I mean, I see a split, but it's definitely more Eevee.
Good, as it should be.
And Jay, a couple questions here to wrap up. Thoughts on how deep the battle system is? I think it's the same battle system. I don't think that's changing.
Yeah, and the trailer, it does seem like the exact same battle system. Yes, that's not changing. The outfits is something we didn't talk about. Like, how do you feel about that?
I mean, they've had them before. I think it's
Yeah,
cute.
yeah,
Again, I
they do
really like
look.
the visual
Yeah.
style, so I think it's nice. I think it looks good. Um, I saw one. This wasn't a rumor. This was just just like a purely speculative thing of like, do we think that Smash Bros adds Eevee as like a nod to to these games?
Oh,
Um,
are
e-
we starting the rumor? No, that would be super cool. We're not starting a rumor, but
Even
yeah.
like how like Pokemon Trainer had like three of the different forms, but basically the starters, like a trainer that had like Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon would be pretty sick. I like this one here from Pad Paradsha, who says they need to make a third version. Let's go Clefairy. That would be
No, nah, keep that.
that would be pretty fun.
You can keep
And
that.
yeah, Raging Red, you're right. The battle system will not change. So again, that's cool. This is a good question by Pineapple Awakens. Do you think that Pokemon we catch in this game will transfer over or connect to the 2019 game? Yeah.
No, 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 no. Please, no.
I mean, they've done that with past versions,
Yeah, yeah, they have.
so I'm not. It would be odd to just have this one sit out, but I
Doesn't
guess there
seem to
could be
be. It
abuses
did.
because of taking from Go to Let's Go to 2019. Maybe that creates some problems. I also could see, and Gianna makes this point. E3 could be a place where they unveil some Pokemon Let's Go amiibo, like even just a Pikachu and Eevee would be nifty. I think.
Yeah.
We already have a Pikachu amiibo via Smash, but it would be great, and we have Detective Pikachu, which is freaking massive. Um, but yeah, I think amiibo here would be pretty great. I don't know. Overall, final sentiment, final thoughts. Is it the greatest thing ever? Is it the perfect reveal? No, but I'm far more positive than I think most are. I look at this as a hopeful game that is still a fun Pokemon experience in 2018 with a future Pokemon to look forward to, and an opportunity for the Switch to really expand. I mean, hopefully we get to tomorrow make a video on Fallout 3 remastered for Switch. This is only going to help things like that, and this is only going to expand. You
If
know,
that bobblehead wakes up, man.
yeah, if the bobblehead wakes up. So yeah, I think it's not the Pokemon. It's not the ultimate Pokemon that I would have wanted. It still looks fun. I think it's more core than people expect. If there's still battles and trading between friends, like that's a huge thing to me. The fact that the system of battle stays the same, Team Rocket's in there, gyms are in there, like I don't know. I think that the worry is overblown. Is this the ultimate win? No, but I still think this is much more win than fail for Nintendo and for fans.
Yeah, I agree for the most part. I'm definitely on the win column. I'm very excited to stop with the Pokemon Let's Go like rumor stuff. Like, oh man. So yeah, I'm honestly pleasantly surprised. So I have no complaints.
Here's the greatest part, guys. Whether you're excited or you're disappointed, the date is almost May 30th. Do you know what that means? That means that there are only 12 days until Nintendo steps on the stage for their direct presentation at E3. So, however you feel here, you're going to get so much more Switch goodness probably before then and definitely then. I mean, we could have another big Switch reveal tomorrow. It seems like so many companies are lining things up. This is good. This is great. And you're not like, oh, this isn't February. It's like, crap, I got to wait 4 months for something. This is going to leave a bad taste in my mouth. Even if you are a little frustrated or flustered, you're going to get so much more Nintendo goodness. Smash Bros. Is supposed to have the greatest roster ever. And if Emily Rogers was spot on here, dude, I'm looking forward to those jump out of your seat surprises in terms of the character reveals. Give me Ridley. Give me Ken K. Rool. I want to see Spyro. Let's go. Like, let's go to E3. And if you're bummed about this, just know that you've got that in 12 days. I think that's a great way to sort of reframe. This is the best time of year, and it's crazy how extended this E3 is. It really feels like E3 is like a 3-week event this year because of Rage 2 and because of we got a tease for what looks like Lego DC villains, and we had the unveiling of Pokemon. Obviously, we've got the weird Bethesda thing going on with Fallout. There's more. Oh, they revealed Monster Hunter Generations for the U.S. and
Oh, tomorrow there's an announcement. The Lego Villains thing that's happening tomorrow. So
Yeah,
yeah, but a bunch of stuff for Switch is being announced. So yeah, very cool.
and yeah, just gaming in general. It's a really elongated, expanded E3. Plus, like here, this is great. This is from Raging Red. Super Smash Bros. For Switch and Pokemon for Switch 2018 officially confirmed. Did you think it was going to happen at the beginning of the year? Did you think you were going to get Smash and Pokemon this year? I don't know that anyone would have picked those as the two. I remember making a video back in January where I said, like, if we get one, that's going to be a great 2018. If we get both, holy cow, that would be insane. You're getting both. You're getting a Smash Bros. Game and a Pokemon game on Switch in 2018, plus more. Plus more. I don't know that anyone in, good conscience could have fully gotten behind that and predicted that. And they're giving us both. So you got to give Nintendo a round of applause, whether it's a golf clap or a full-on smash clap. They're bringing, by all means, their two biggest remaining franchises after Mario and Zelda to the Switch in the same year, in the same fall, in the same quarter. That's freaking incredible.
Yep.
So yeah, thanks so much for being here. Let's make note that that was our best stream ever. So thank you for being a part of this Pokemon adventure, this Pokemon journey. I'm sure there'll be more. I'm sure we'll have more thoughts. So definitely stay tuned. If you missed any of it, we did make a 5 coolest features of Pokemon Switch video. Gabe did do a reaction to the trailer, pointing out a few things. Made a little bit of a video on Pokemon Quest. We're going to play more of that, so we'll probably talk about that at some time in the future. The Bronze Owl said, can't wait for E3 because this was trash. Well, I don't agree, but you are correct. E3 is around the corner. And I think, I don't know. Again, it's over. If nothing else, I don't have to deal with Gabe being upset about rumors. So there you go. Gabe can relax. There's no more rumors for Gabe to worry about. Now we just get a year and a half of Gen 8 rumors. So
Apparently our stream was trending on YouTube Live, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, let's hold off though, Pixelpar and everybody on the rumors for 2019. Give us at least like a 3-month hiatus, please.
Yeah, let's relax.
But yeah, we'll stay up on what's happening at the event. It seems like it's over for tonight, but they're coming back tomorrow. I wanted to go over this just 'cause I thought it was kind of interesting. I forgot to mention it earlier, but I'll bring it in now. The Pokeball Plus has a control stick and a top button. It has a USB-C terminal. It has a strap lock, a support ring, and a safety release. So this is like
the safest thing in the world.
This is the safest Pokeball ever. Like this is Ash's mom got so worried that she spent like a freaking decade building this Pokeball. 3 hours of battery life, and it's charged using the Nintendo Switch adapter.
Yeah, it's USB-C. Okay.
Yeah.
I said that earlier.
It's 65 grams, and it's 48 millimeters in diameter. And it releases on the same day, and it looks like it's gonna be $50.
Cool. I'm gonna get one. Are you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if for no other reason that this is like the closest. They said that the engineers wanted to make it the closest to a real life Pokeball as possible, and this is the closest that people will get to.
I'm gonna throw one at you.
God. Gabe's gonna be that guy. Oh, it's not out at E3. Dang, as I said, you should be at E3 and just like toss the Pokeball at every game and every person that you want to capture.
When I throw the Pokeball at you, you better get in it.
God, remember when we did like Switch on an airplane? Now we can do like Pokeball Plus in prison, Pokeball Plus on a plane.
All right.
All right. That's gonna do it, my friends, my family. Thank you so much for being here. You can obviously leave further thoughts in the comments down below. We'll be back with more discussion, I'm sure, tomorrow, and it might be filled with Fallout too. So stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for supporting us. We love you. We love it. 2,000 hours were spent on this stream. That's a lot of time, and there's probably less than 2,000 hours till E3. So we're gonna get some rest and come back. One more donation. The Bronze Owl. It stands for Overwatch. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'm so sorry for making you spend to get your name corrected, but hey. Thanks so much. All right, that's going to do it for us. Have a fantastic night, everyone. Pokemon Switch is officially a thing. It's coming this year, and we are excited here at Switch Force. So until next time, for myself and Gabe, thanks again. Switch Force